Earthlings, and welcome. I'm Amber, and this today is going to be super fun. So I kind of wanted to shake it up on my channel. I know I've only done a few videos, but I didn't want to get boring, and I didn't want to, I kind of wanted to try something out just for me. Maybe you'll like it too, I don't know. But I have here my little pottery thing. I made this in high school. I don't know what it's called. It's just this 3 little footed thing. And I have in it slips of paper and I don't know what to call this, like 18 questions, book preferences. It's kind of, but I wanted to try this out. I'm super excited. So come along with this journey with me. And if you do hear noise in the background, that is my son. He refuses to nap, like all good things. First one is the easy one. Okay, it says hardback versus paperback. I prefer a really good floppy paperback over a hardback. I love the aesthetics of a hardback, and I do prefer my nonfiction in hardback, but for the most part, I prefer paperback. Like, I prefer a good, nice, floppy paperback. Next! What's it gonna be? Ooh. Okay, long versus short books. So I prefer shorter books. About 350 pages is where I start to kind of lose focus and I get bored and I don't really want to keep going. So if a book's like super long like that, I tend to have a hard time wanting to read it. Okay, this is fun. Oh, okay, so I saw a video the other day, and I can't remember who it was by, but they were talking about book preferences and things, sort of kind of like what I'm doing, but it was a very short video, and they mentioned libraries versus bookstores. And I'm a library person. Like, I've always been a library person. Like, I still have my library card from when I was, 8 or 9 years old. Like, I love the library. So, I mean, I love bookstores too, and I love owning books, obviously. I mean, I don't have a ton of books. I have like under 200, but I mean, I prefer the library because I want to be sure I love a book before I buy it. That one's a good one. That one's a really good one. Okay. Ooh, ebooks versus physical books. Let's see here. I prefer physical books, although I understand the importance of ebooks, and I do still love ebooks, and I still think they have value. Next. Ooh, standalone versus a series. I am a standalone person. I have a hard time with series because if it just keeps going and going and going, I have a hard time with it. Although, there's one exception. The Wayward Children series, which is up on my top shelf, which you can't see, I will forever read whatever Sean and McGuire puts out in the Wayward Children series. Like, no joke. But other than that exception, standalones. I prefer standalones. I like, one story, one book, or if it's a duology, I'm fine with a duology. But anything more than a duology, and I'm usually like, nope, done. Next! Ooh, when it comes to bookshelves, do I prefer to organize by author or by genre? Oh, this is so hard because I've done both, but I like the way genre looks better than by author, I think. Yeah. I reorganize my bookshelves a lot. This is a new organization. Next! Oh, this one, I was talking to my husband last night. We differ, but deckled edges versus clean cut. I like a book that's clean cut. I don't prefer deckled edges. Deckled edges, I find it harder to flip through the pages. I find it harder to flip the page when I'm reading. And so deckled edges for me are just a frustration and an annoyance. We're just gonna quickly move on because I have opinions on that. Ooh, this one, I I had to do this one because it speaks back to my Twilight days in middle school. Yeah, that was long ago. Vampires versus werewolves. Ooh, okay. So I feel like I've definitely read a lot more vampire literature than werewolf literature, but werewolves intrigue me a lot. Just like that culture and that phenomena and that responsibility. So like I love vampires, but I also love werewolves. So this one's like, oh, this one's such a tie. But if I had to choose one, like, I would love to read more werewolf literature for sure. Like, if you know any good werewolf books, let me know. 1 minute. All right. We only have a few left. I'm going through these super quick, sorry. Ooh, do I prefer to watch hauls or unhauls? Now, I have this slight paranoia that I'll turn into a hoarder. Not because I have hoarder tendencies, but because several members of my family are pack rats, and verging on hoarder-ish. Like, they don't keep trash, but they tend to hold on to things, and that drives me nuts, because I used to do that as well. And so, like, part of me wants to collect things, but another part of me is just like, I have too much stuff, like, how am I ever gonna move with this? Because we do plan on moving eventually. And so I like watching unhauls because it kind of calms that anxiety, because it kind of answers to that, oh, see, like, it's okay, like, other people are getting rid of things, you're getting rid of things, like, it's okay. So I do really like watching unhauls because I get that satisfaction of, oh, they're getting rid of things that don't mean anything, or they're getting rid of things that are cluttering their lives. So I don't know. Next. Ooh, when it comes to literature, do I prefer big city or small town? I definitely like reading about small towns a lot more. Next, I have, ooh, mass market paperbacks versus regular size books. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull this randomly. So we have here a mass market paperback, and then we have here a regular size book. I have encountered the sentiment on BookTube quite frequently that mass market paperbacks are annoying, they're chunky, they're just the size and holding it in their hand, like the person's hands, they just don't like it. I don't mind mass market paperbacks. Big floppy, huge ones, I don't mind at all. This one, I guess I don't really have an opinion about it. I like both of them. Next, last one. Ooh. Oh, this is, I don't know if this is like, this is a big thing for a lot of people. When it comes to loved series, do I prefer mismatched or all matching? I kind of prefer all matching when it comes to series I really love. When it comes to series I don't really care about, I don't care if they're matching. So like when it comes to our Harry Potter books, like I don't care if they're mismatching, like it doesn't bother me whatsoever. But for other things like our Lord of the Rings books, like we definitely want those matching. When it comes to like like when it comes to like my Roald Dahl collection, I kind of want those to be matching, but I don't know, I guess it depends on if I actually like the series or not. But I think, yeah, I prefer them to be matching. But if they're mismatching, like, and that's what I can find at like a thrift store or whatever, I don't have any problem with that. I had a lot of fun. Like, I've seen other booktubers do this sort of thing, and I always really like watching it because it's interesting, because you're like, ooh, I know what I'd choose, but what would they choose? And then sometimes it's such a complicated response because it's based on, you know, culture, and it's based on preference, and it's based on, you know, how you grew up and what you've experienced. And so it's interesting, you know? And so I really had fun, and I would love to do something like this again. Maybe a writing version. Let's do that! Okay, well, expect that sometime in the future, at some point, you know, way hecking gone, a writing version. I think that would be super fun. But for now, I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. All my love. Bye!